Ethan Cole stared out of the viewport of the small shuttle as the alien world of Lyrion 4 came into view. The planet was covered in dark stone mountains and strange glowing patterns that seemed to pulse on the surface. He had studied images and signals from this planet for years, but seeing it up close made his heart race. Beside him, Lisa Carter adjusted the controls, her fingers moving quickly over the smooth panel. She was calm, but Ethan could feel her excitement under the surface. "We are almost there," Lisa said, her voice steady. "Prepare for landing." Daniel Harris, the team's security officer, tightened his harness and looked out the viewport. "I don't like the look of those mountains. They seem unnatural, like someone built them." Maria Lewis, the medic, smiled slightly. "Maybe it's just the alien geology. Let's hope it's not alive." Ethan chuckled nervously. "With the readings we got, Maria, I'm not so sure." He pulled out a small tablet, showing the glowing symbols recorded by orbiting satellites. The symbols flickered as if alive. Ethan had spent months trying to decode them. Some matched ancient fragments of language he had found in deep space signals, but most were unknown. The shuttle shuddered as it entered the planet's thin atmosphere. Outside, the dark mountains glowed faintly blue, almost like veins running through stone. The team held their breath as the landing gear touched down softly on a flat plateau surrounded by jagged rocks. "We are down," Lisa said, letting out a quiet sigh. "Let's get this over with." Ethan grabbed his backpack and checked the equipment one last time. "Remember, we stick together." The sensors picked up faint life signs underground, but we don't know what we will find. The team stepped out into the cold, alien wind. The ground was hard and smooth, with glowing cracks that looked like tiny rivers of light. Daniel led the way, weapon in hand, scanning every shadow. Maria followed, carrying portable medical equipment. Ethan and Lisa stayed close, ready to record and repair any systems they found. After an hour of careful walking, they reached a massive stone structure. It was a tower, buried mostly underground, with only its tip visible above the plateau. Strange symbols covered the stone surface, pulsing faintly. Ethan knelt to examine them. "These are the same symbols from the satellites," he whispered. "I think this is the central chamber. If there's life down there, it's here." Lisa scanned the surface with a handheld device. "The readings are strange. Energy levels are low, but stable. Someone or something is keeping the place powered." Daniel frowned. Ethan ignored him, tracing a glowing symbol with his fingers. He felt a strange warmth, almost like the stone recognized his touch. Suddenly, the ground rumbled slightly, and a panel in the stone floor slid open, revealing a stairway leading downward. A faint blue light glowed from below. Quote, "Well, I guess it wants us to come in," Ethan said. He motioned for the others to follow. The team descended slowly. The stairs were wide and smooth, like polished glass. The air grew cooler, and Maria muttered that she could feel faint life signs ahead. The chamber at the bottom was enormous. The walls were lined with glowing symbols, and at the center was a throne made of crystal and a cocoon-like structure attached to tubes and cables. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. This is alive," he whispered. "I can feel it." Maria knelt near the cocoon, scanning its faint life energy. "Something is alive inside. Barely, but it's there." Daniel raised his weapon. "I say we leave. Now." Ethan shook his head. "No. I need to try something. This could be history itself." He stepped forward. He had been studying the Lirani language for years, hoping someday someone would hear it. He spoke slowly, carefully, pronouncing each syllable. "Hello. I am Ethan, of Earth." The chamber hummed. The glowing symbols flared, then pulsed in a rhythm that matched Ethan's words. The cocoon quivered. Lisa and Maria stepped back in alarm, but Daniel was frozen, eyes wide. The cocoon split open. A tall figure emerged. She was taller than any human. Her skin, a soft silver. Her body armored in chitin-like plates that glowed with patterns of light. Her eyes were large, deep, and glowing. She looked fragile, as if she had just woken from a very long sleep. Ethan's voice shook, but he tried again. "We are explorers. We mean no harm." The alien woman looked at him, and her eyes widened in disbelief. She spoke, and the words were perfectly clear to Ethan. He could understand them, though they were in her language. "Who?" The team froze. Maria's mouth opened, but no words came out. Daniel lowered his weapon slightly, though his hands were still tense. Lisa whispered, She understands him?" Ethan nodded slowly. "Yes, she understands, and she is asking who we are. Lo, we can stary. She after 7. All." The alien queen took a step forward, her body shaking. The cables and tubes around her seemed to respond to her emotions, glowing brighter and pulsating. Ethan realized that she was fragile, like a queen who had lost everything. "We are humans," Ethan said, careful to speak in her language as best he could. "From Earth. We found you. We want." The queen looked around the chamber, her glowing eyes scanning the walls, the throne, and finally resting on Ethan. She trembled again. "Earth. Humans?" "Yes," Ethan said softly. "We mean no harm." The queen lowered her head slightly, as if she was trying to understand. She moved slowly toward the throne, but instead of sitting, she placed her hand on the crystal, touching it lightly. The symbols on the walls flared brighter as she drew energy from the chamber. Ethan realized that the room was not just a building, but a living system, responding to her. "I am Elira," the queen whispered. "Queen of Lirani. Long ago." Ethan felt a lump in his throat. The Lirani were almost extinct, wiped out in wars he had only read about in fragments. And here, in front of him, was the last living queen. "Elira," Ethan said, speaking slowly. We are your friends. We are explorers. We want to learn, to help." She looked at him, her eyes shimmering with tears that reflected the chamber's light. "Friends? From Earth?" "Yes," Ethan said, nodding. "We come in peace. We do not wish to hurt you." For a long moment, Elira just stared. Then she sat on the floor, trembling, and buried her face in her hands. Ethan stepped closer, keeping his voice calm and soft. "Elira," he said, "you are safe. We are here." Lisa approached cautiously. "Can I help? Medical help?" Elira shook her head, still trembling. "No, I must. Remember, must. Awaken." Daniel kept his weapon ready but stayed silent. He realized that whatever danger existed, it was not from this queen. She was weary, not hostile. Maria knelt beside Elira, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "We are here. We will not leave. You are not alone." Elira raised her head slowly. Her glowing eyes focused on Ethan. Ethan swallowed hard. "I studied it. For years. I hoped someone would hear it and understand." The queen's eyes widened. She shook her head slowly. "No human should know this language. Impossible." Ethan nodded. "I know, but I do, and I am here to help, not to hurt." The chamber pulsed softly, the glowing symbols dimming to a calm rhythm. Elira looked around, still trembling, as if testing whether she was awake or dreaming. Ethan realized he was the first human to ever speak with a Lyrani queen, and she had understood him. The team gathered closer, watching Elira. They did not speak. Even Daniel had put his weapon down. There was a quiet awe in the air, a mixture of fear, respect, and wonder. Elira finally spoke again, her voice low and trembling. "So, you came from the stars. You found me." "Yes," Ethan said gently. "We came to learn, to help, if we can." She closed her eyes briefly and took a deep breath. When she opened them, they seemed calmer. "Then, we begin together?" Ethan nodded. "Together." Outside, the wind of Lyrion 4 blew across the plateau, carrying strange whispers through the stone mountains. Inside the chamber, the human explorers and the last Lyrani queen stared at each other. A bridge had been built with a single sentence. "Who are you?" And the answer had begun a story neither species had expected. Elira stayed on the floor for a few moments, letting the energy of the chamber calm her trembling. Ethan crouched beside her, careful not to startle her. The glowing symbols on the walls pulsed softly, as if the chamber itself was breathing with her. You speak my language," Elira said slowly, her voice shaking. "I did not think any human could. I studied it," Ethan said quietly. "I wanted someone to hear me, understand me. Someday, someday, someday." Elira raised her head and looked at him, her glowing eyes filled with surprise and something that looked like hope. "Then, you are not enemy?" "No," Ethan said. "We come in peace. We want to help, learn." The queen sat up slowly, supported by the smooth stone floor. Lisa stepped forward, speaking softly. "I am Lisa. I can help with technology or medicine. We want to keep you safe." Elira looked at the humans around her. She had not seen another species in thousands of cycles. Her mind was full of old memories, of war, of loss, and of her people. Yet these humans spoke to her with care. "I am Elira," she whispered. "Queen of Lyrani. Once." Her eyes drifted to the cocoon behind her, now empty. "We were many. Now, few." Ethan nodded gently. "I know. I have studied the ruins. I think your people may be gone. Almost gone." Elira shivered. "Gone. Yes. Destroyed. By Draxel. The war. Too many lost. I awake. Alone." Maria knelt beside her, placing a hand on her silver shoulder. "We are here. Elira, you are not alone anymore. We will help." Elira's eyes softened. "You offer help? Humans care?" she asked, incredulous. "We do," Ethan said. "We help those in need. It is who we are." The queen studied him for a long moment. Then, slowly, she spoke again. "So, you are different than I imagined." "Not all humans are the same," Ethan said. "Some hurt, some heal. We try to grow better." Elira's hands rested on the crystal throne now. The city's energy responded, glowing brighter. "Your words are honest, but humans fight to Many wars. Yes, Ethan admitted. We do. But some of us want peace, want understanding, want to protect, not destroy. Elira's glowing eyes drifted over the walls of the chamber. She could feel the history of her people in every line of the stone, in every flicker of light. She saw memories of her empire, her people's achievements, and the destruction that had come. She spoke softly. I failed my people. I led them into war, pride, foolishness. We all carry guilt, Ethan said gently. I feel guilty for waking you, disturbing your sleep, but we can choose what to do next. Elira looked at him, intrigued. Choose. Yes. But the Draxel, they remain, waiting, maybe, for me. Daniel shifted uncomfortably. He had been silent, watching, weapon ready, but lowered. What are Draxel? He asked. Elira's eyes flared slightly. Enemies. Ancient. Destroyed many. Lorraine. Nearly all. Left only me. One seed. Queen alone. Daniel swallowed. He had expected aliens, perhaps ruins, but not a story of genocide. He looked at Ethan. Are we supposed to fight them? Not yet, Ethan said. First, we learn, understand, prepare, together. Elira stood slowly, her body trembling as she touched the walls. Teach, humans, our ways. I show, our knowledge, history, strength, maybe, together. Ethan smiled faintly. I want to learn. If you teach, we can help protect you, help your people. Memory, live on. Elira's gaze softened. Memory, yes, we lost, must remember, never forget. Perhaps humans can help carry it. The chamber grew warmer, glowing with light from the symbols. The humans explored it carefully. Lisa moved to a console embedded in the wall. These controls seem alive, responding to her. Elira nodded. Our cities were alive. We melded technology and biology. Every structure, a living system, home for our people. Maria scanned the cocoon and the cables. It seems you were in stasis to survive. The war? Elira's eyes grew distant. Yes. My people faced extinction. I was the seed. If all perished, I remain. Guard. The knowledge. The legacy. Ethan stepped closer. And now, you awaken. Alone. But not without allies. Elira studied him. Allies, humans, strange, small, fragile, yet your hearts, strong. You stay, despite danger. You care. We do, Ethan said. We stand with you. Because it is right. Because you are not alone. For a while, they sat together, humans and Queen, sharing silence. The glowing chamber walls pulsed softly, as if acknowledging the bond forming in the room. Suddenly, the sensors Ethan carried beeped loudly. He checked them. Something in orbit. Active. Energy signature. Not human. Not Liraini. Old. Draxel patterns. Elira's body tensed. The Draxel. They sense me. I Warned. They. Wait. Daniel frowned. They came here? After all this time? Elira nodded. They. Always. Wait. For the last seed. To fall. Destroy. Completely. Ethan looked at her. We. Will not let that happen. We can. Prepare. Together. Elira's eyes softened, almost in gratitude. Humans. Do. Not fear. Like others. You. Face. Unknown. For me. For knowledge. For life. Because it is. Right. Ethan said. Because. Some things. Are worth. Protecting. Not for power. Not for greed. But. To live. And remember. The queen rose fully, her body still trembling but her stance stronger. She moved to the center of the chamber and touched the symbols on the floor. The city hummed, lights flowing through the walls, reacting to her touch. Ethan realized the queen could control the chamber, the city, almost like it was part of her. We must prepare, Elira said. The Draxel will come. We must defend, must survive. Then we prepare together, Ethan said firmly. We can combine your knowledge, our skills, technology, strategy. Lisa nodded. We can work with your systems. Maybe merge human tech with Lyrany tech. Stronger, more adaptable. Maria smiled faintly. And I can help. Medical, both. Humans and Lyrany. Keep you alive. Safe. Daniel exhaled. I still don't like the idea of fighting unknown enemies. But if they threaten her, we fight. We protect. Elira looked at each of them. Then, you are allies. True. Friends. Humans. I trust. Ethan stepped closer. We will earn that trust. And we will stand by you, whatever comes. Elira's glowing eyes brightened. She reached out and touched Ethan's hand briefly. Your heart speaks truth. Perhaps humans can be worthy. They spent the rest of the cycle exploring the chamber. Ethan recorded everything, noting how the walls responded to Elira's thoughts and emotions. Lisa tested the control panels, finding ways to integrate human technology. Daniel mapped exits and possible defensive positions. Maria examined Elira's condition, ensuring she had enough energy to continue awakening. As the day ended, Elira stood on the balcony of the chamber, looking out at the dark mountains and glowing patterns of Lyrian 4. Ethan joined her quietly. It is strange, Elira said softly, to awaken, alone, and find humans who speak my language, who understand. Sometimes, Ethan said, the unexpected becomes the beginning of something important, something bigger than we imagine. 2. Elira turned her glowing eyes to him. Then, maybe, we begin together. Humans and Lyrany. Memory. Life. New path. Ethan nodded. Outside, the wind of Lyrian 4 blew across the ruins of the old empire. Inside, a queen and humans formed a fragile bond. They had just begun. But the first steps toward understanding, survival, and hope had been taken. The Draxel threat loomed far away. But for now, Elira was not alone. And the humans had gained a queen's trust. A new story was beginning, one of friendship, knowledge, and courage. The next cycle on Lyrian 4 began quietly. The humans and Elira worked together, exploring the city's systems. Ethan had spent hours with her, learning more of the Lyrani language and culture. She taught him how their cities lived, how technology and biology were merged, and how the symbols on the walls responded to thought and emotion. This city, Elira said, touching a glowing panel, is alive, feels, thinks, protects, when the Queen guides it. So, if we understand your systems, we can help defend, maybe control it together, Ethan said. Elira nodded slowly. Yes. Humans. Adapt. Quickly. Learn. Clever. Perhaps. Stronger. Together. Lisa examined a console nearby. If we merge our tech, we can improve defenses, reroute energy, make shields, maybe weapons, in harmony with her systems. Daniel frowned. We don't even know what we're facing. Draxel could be thousands strong. Elira's eyes grew cold. I remember. The war. They destroy without mercy. Seek. Last seed. Only me. Alive. Maria stepped closer. Then we must prepare. Medically too. Treat injuries. Heal quickly. Humans and Lyrani. The Queen nodded, placing her hand on the crystal floor. The city hummed, glowing brighter. I will help, guide, teach, protect, but must awaken fully, must be ready, must not fail again. Ethan placed a hand on hers. We will help. Together. We do not leave. We will stand with you. Whatever comes. For days, they worked. Ethan recorded symbols, translating them into human terms. Lisa repaired consoles and integrated Earth technology with Lyrani systems. Daniel mapped corridors and strategic points in the city. Maria studied Elira's health, helping her recover strength. Elira, in turn, guided them, showing how energy flowed through the city, how walls could shift, how doors could protect or trap enemies. See, Elira said, touching a wall, we can make labyrinth, trap, confuse, enemy, our city, fights with us, not against us. Daniel nodded. This will give us an advantage, even against larger forces. Clever. One cycle later, sensors detected activity in orbit. Ethan checked the readings. It is Draxel. Energy signature. Old. Similar to Warfleet patterns. Moving closer. They may know. Queen. Awake. Elira's glowing eyes narrowed. They always wait. Always sense. Queen. Attempt. Destroy. Once more. We need a plan, Ethan said. We cannot just react. We need strategy, defenses, traps, everything we learned, Lisa added. We can set energy shields, reroute power to turrets, reinforce corridors, make the city adaptive, surprise them. Daniel frowned. And humans, fight on the ground, ambush, protect Elira, act fast, Maria said. And I can treat injuries, keep everyone alive, both humans and Lyrani. Monitor Elira's energy. She cannot sustain too much strain. Elira looked at them, eyes glowing softly. Then, we begin. First strike. If Draxel land, we do not wait. We fight, defend, survive. Together, they spent the cycle preparing. Walls were shifted to create hidden paths. Energy turrets were powered up. Shields were tested. Ethan worked beside Elira, learning how to guide energy flows. Lisa rewired human tech into the city's circuits. Daniel trained small squads in ambush tactics using corridors and hidden rooms. Maria monitored everyone's health, making small adjustments to energy flows to stabilize Elira's condition. Your people. Skilled. Clever. Adapt. Quickly. Unexpected. Elira said to Ethan. I did not expect humans to be so brave? Ethan suggested. Elira's lips curved slightly. Yes, brave. Perhaps worthy. Then alarms sounded. Draxel vessels entered orbit, dark shapes against the planet's surface. Sensors indicated they were large, heavily armed, moving toward landing zones. Ethan and the team ran to the main console. They will land soon, Ethan said. We have maybe half a cycle before their troops reach the surface. Elira touched the crystal floor, sending pulses of energy through the city. Then, we prepare. Defenses. All systems. Activate. Ready. Lisa worked quickly, integrating Earth shields with the Lyrani energy network. Daniel checked weapons and positions. We take ground positions. Guide Draxel into traps. Use corridors. Choke points. No mercy if they come near the Queen. Maria placed medical kits and stabilizers near key points. We treat quickly. Do not let anyone fall, including humans or Elira. The first Draxel ships landed. Dark armored beings stepping onto the plateau. They scanned the area with weapons and sensors. The humans and Elira watched quietly, waiting for the city's systems to respond. They sense Queen and city. Wary. Cautious. Elira whispered. They remember. Fear. Hate. Old war. Ethan spoke softly. We fight only to protect, not to destroy without reason. Remember that. Elira's hands glowed as she touched the energy conduits. The city walls shifted, opening hidden corridors and collapsing others. Turrets powered up, ready to fire. The Draxel soldiers hesitated, stepping cautiously. Daniel moved his squad through the shadows. We strike. Hit weak points. Lure them in. The first Draxel units entered the city. Energy beams from hidden turrets struck them, sending them stumbling. Walls shifted, trapping others. Draxel weapons malfunctioned under the city's energy fields. The humans moved quickly, guiding them into traps, using knowledge of both human tactics and Lyrani architecture. Elira remained at the center of the city, touching energy conduits, guiding flows, strengthening barriers. Ethan stayed close, translating sensor readings and advising on tactical decisions. Together, they formed a hybrid command, humans and Lyrani working in perfect synchrony. Maria moved along the corridors, stabilizing injured soldiers, human and Draxel prisoners alike. She worked quickly, saving lives while keeping Elira focused on defending the city. They, strong, but not clever, underestimate. Humans and Queen. Mistake. Elira murmured, sending pulses of energy that redirected attacks. Daniel smiled grimly. I like this. We make them fight. On our terms. And lose. On their terms. The Draxel pressed hard, but every move they made was countered by Elira's city and the human strategy. Traps closed behind them. Corridors shifted. Energy pulses disabled weapons. Draxel commanders called retreats, but the humans pushed carefully, forcing them further into the labyrinth of the city. Ethan watched, amazed. This is the first time Lyrani systems and humans work together, effectively, maybe, ever. Elira's voice was calm now. Hours passed in tense battle. Draxel soldiers were trapped, captured, or forced to retreat. The city had taken damage, but Elira and the humans had adapted to every attack. The queen's glowing eyes softened, looking at Ethan. You taught me trust. Humans, perhaps, hope exists. Ethan nodded. And you showed us strength, wisdom, courage, even after so long, and loss. We can learn from each other. Askin, wisdom, wisdom, Askin, Askin. Finally, the last Draxel retreating units fled to their ships. The humans and Elira stood together, exhausted but victorious. The city pulsed softly, returning to a calm rhythm. Walls shifted back into place. Corridors reopened. Energy flows stabilized. We survived. Together, Elira said softly. Humans, thank you for standing with me. Queen, not alone. We will always stand with you, Ethan said. This is only the beginning. Draxel may return, but we are ready. Together, the team gathered in the central chamber, watching the city settle. Maria checked Elira's vitals. She is stable, but drained. We need rest. Recovery. Lisa smiled tiredly. And we learn more. Understand the city. Prepare for next time. Daniel leaned against a wall. I still don't like how fast they adapt. But we held. We survived. Thanks to her. And us. Working together. Elira looked around, glowing softly. Humans. You. Small. Fragile. Yet. Courage. Clever. Hearts. Strong. Perhaps. Worthy of trust. Perhaps. Worthy of life. Ethan stepped closer. And you, Elira, showed us memory, strength, wisdom, and hope. Together, we will face what comes next. The city hummed around them, alive with energy and memory. Outside, the stars shone cold and distant, but inside, a queen and humans had formed a bond of trust, courage, and partnership. The Draxel threat had been met and repelled, but the real test was only beginning. They had survived, yes, but now they had to prepare for what might come next. Together, as allies, as friends, as defenders of both human and Lyrani legacies,